From the Middle is a founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network. Even when they keep replying, who dis?
Oh, for the love. Sorry, just clearing my Mountain Dew hole.
I got my phone hole cleaned today.
That's where you keep it?
You're so cerebral and you're so developed and evolved. From the Middle after dark over here.
Thank you, everyone, for... I made myself laugh. This was great. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into episode 99 of From the Middle. I am one of your hosts, Dillon, alongside my brother, Kory, and our lovable teddy bear friend, Kendall. We are three middle-class guys living in the middle of America in the middle chapters of our lives with a point of view somewhere in the middle. And since that was mostly nonsensical, let me tell you a little bit about what we do here on this podcast. We are a comedy culture, interview, and entertainment style podcast. And frankly, we're just here to have fun. And sometimes that means talking about sandwiches. And sometimes that means interviewing professional comedians. And sometimes that means talking about our underwear choices for way too long. And with that, the intro of our show is done. And I don't have to talk for the next 45 minutes. Thank you.
Welcome to Artiest Man Hat and Glasses Night on From the Middle podcast. If you're not watching on the YouTubes, we love
intentional theme night here for episode 99, but here we are.
And let's do that at the top. If you would like quality men's grooming products, go to www.artiustman.com. That's ARTIUSMAN.com. Use promo code the middle, get a significant discount on your first order. It helps them, it helps us. You're gonna love the products. I've got two of their candles right in front of me. I use the beard wash every day, and the beard oil is awesome as well. I highly recommend the scent restoration. It's one of the faves.
Your beard, by the way,
save 25% off your entire first order. It's going to be insane, the savings that you'll see by throwing more into your cart than you've ever seen in a shopping cart other than on Amazon.
A virtual shopping cart.
Yeah.
That's right.
At that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. There is no limit to how much you can put in a virtual shopping cart.
It's true. And there shouldn't be a limit at Artiest Man. It should be limitless.
Yeah.
The scents and aromas.
Maybe somebody out there can test that. Find out if there is an upper limit. At some point, they're like, no, you need to stop now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Before you check out, just use promo code the middle, please.
Oh, yeah, do that. Speaking of beards, Kory, your beard is looking snappy. It looks freshly squared up in the front there. Is it? It looks nice.
I'm trying the Van Dyke, like the longer, the pointier. I need all the help I can get lengthening my round face, so I take a little off the sides and then not like V for Vendetta point at the bottom, but just like a little more down here.
Yeah, you're trying to ovulate your face. That's not. Wow.
I don't think that was the right word.
That is not the right word. I was definitely trying to turn the word oval into a verb and accidentally landed on something else.
Yeah, let's go with elongate.
Sure. I'm really glad we have the contrast though. I just shaved, so I've got that like baby neck chub going on, like right here, just a little extra, like that's cute on an infant, but on an adult, you're like, okay, well,
yeah.
Maybe just let it grow in. I don't know.
I'm over here lately. I've been doing for the past couple of years, I think.
More mustache.
Like a two guard all the way around. I've been growing the mustache a little bit, but
yeah. You curling it?
I mean, no, I do wax it just to keep it out of my mouth when I'm chewing, because that becomes a problem. But that's a disgusting conversation to have about accidentally chewing on your mustache.
Anyway, thanks, Artiest Man. Really appreciate it. We also love your hats. So
yeah,
right on. I would love to hear what's going on in you guys' world. How was your weekend? How was your life? Dillon, how was your second round of the Wizard of Za?
I'm so full, but like in a cute, in like a cute, like chubby belly, like I'm so full but happy kind of way, like after Thanksgiving. Not like pregnant, I'm not that, but like just a cute, lovable way. I want to say it that way. Anyways, so we went back to the Wizard of Za. You can go back to episode 91. We had the owner, Spencer Saylor, on. If you don't know what the Wizard of Za is, it's an underground like pizza thing going in Columbus, Ohio. It's fantastic. Anyways, we had round two. We did not drive through a blizzard this time to get there, which was exciting in and of itself. And I have to say, totally class move. After the episode 91, we had Spencer on. I was chatting about the vodka pizza. We had a pepperoni and a vodka pizza. And I told him, dude, the vodka sauce is so good.
Goodness.
You've got to jar it so I can buy a jar of that to make pasta. It's ridiculously good. And so we went this time, and I happened to use the podcast email to order again because I already had an account set up from the first time. So I got there. They asked me my name. I didn't see Spencer. I said Dillon, and somebody else that didn't ask my name said, from the podcast? And I was like, yeah. Like, oh, that's cool. Like Spencer told him I was coming. And then somebody else reaches into their fridge and gets me a whole big container of the spicy vodka sauce and sets it on the counter for me. And I was so excited. So I had this big container of spicy vodka. Then we took our pizzas. We got pepperoni and vodka pizzas again and the little Italian cookies. And we went and ate in the parking lot because it was fresh. And our in-laws followed us over in their car. So we were able to like share the boxes between the two cars, and they were able to try it for the first time. Interestingly, they got home, and before we could really ask like again, like, oh, so did you really like it? They were already on the website trying to find a time that they could go back and get more. So they thoroughly enjoyed it. So I then had this delicious container of sauce that I'm like, I can't sit on this. Like, I got to use it. I didn't want to freeze it. I'm not a huge fan of freezing fresh things. I know that's the whole point. We can get into it later. Anyways, I just wanted to use it. So I had this farfalle pasta, this tricolor farfalle pasta that like I was just ready to use, and I thought it's perfect because a lot of people don't know certain kinds of pastas are better for certain sauces, right? Like it sounds obvious when you say it, but not everyone thinks about it. Well, farfalle is one of those that's perfect for like a creamier sauce because it's like little bow ties. It holds the sauce in the noodles better when you cook it. So you want certain kinds of sauces for certain things. So it was like this perfect pairing that I already had ready to go. And it was fantastic. I actually, if you follow us on Instagram, you already saw a zoomed like close up picture. It was friggin' spicy because normally it would have bread and cheese to balance it out. It did not, but it was so good. Not too spicy, but like right at the edge. And so shout out, go check out episode 91. And if you're in the greater Columbus area, go order some Wizard of Za pizza. Even if you get put on a list, it's worth it because it is killer. And so I did share a quick Midbit video on YouTube while we were there. And like I said, I posted on Instagram. It was delicious. And the sauce was freaking awesome.
How much of that sauce do you have left over? Are you just like shooting it every morning to like start your day?
That would be a great idea. No, I used it all. So I cooked way more pasta than I knew I would need on purpose. So what I did was I started heating up the sauce, and then once the pasta was cooked, I was pouring in the cooked pasta to match the amount of sauce so that I could have the most sauce covered pasta possible, but not too much pasta to where the sauce was now kind of thinned out across too much pasta. So I was like slowly adding I would have been fine throwing away the rest of the cooked pasta because it was about using the sauce, but getting the right portions. So no, I have none left. We finished it all that night. It was delicious.
I'm jealous.
You should be. It was fantastic.
I am be.
And I can't say enough. And I think at the end of that episode, if I remember correctly, Spencer talked about toying around with the idea of a restaurant and maybe some traditional Italian dishes. This would definitely be, I don't know how to say the word. You go order pasta, and you ever see the word like diavolo or diavolo or whatever, it implies that it's like a spicy or whatever. it would have to be on the menu that way if he's not going to change the sauce recipe at all. But like a spicy vodka, you'd have to indicate that, but it's so good. I even tried a couple different kinds of cheeses on it, just to test it out, and then by itself, fantastic. So that was my weekend. We did nothing else important. That was the only important thing that we did.
Dillon, you mentioned Midbits, and for our listeners who aren't familiar, can you explain what a Midbit is, as well as something new that you unveiled?
Sure. I'm so excited I get to talk longer and more. So
That's what the people want to hear, Dillon.
that's true. I mean,
More Dillon,
literally,
more
you're-
Dillon.
you're
More
about to find
Dillon.
out how you can get 49 minutes and some seconds more Dillon if you really want. So, so obviously every Wednesday, I shouldn't say obviously, some people might be here for the first time. Every Wednesday we release new podcast episodes. And that's this. We typically have a variety of different subjects in any given week, unless we have a guest. Well, on our YouTube channel, which you can find linked from all of our social media places, on our YouTube channel, you'll find additional content, and we don't have a monetized page on YouTube or anything. So it's just there for you to enjoy. We have two other now kinds of additional content. So one of those is called Midbits, which is as dirty and awesome as it sounds. Just kidding.
Filthy.
Kid friendly page. Anyways, so Midbits are kind of short, perfect. If you're on YouTube, you can now see Kory highlighting it. Midbits are little like behind the scenes, super short clips of like things that we talk about on the show or things that we enjoy doing in our private life. It seems like the average video there is probably a minute or so. We've also introduced another new kind of bonus content on our YouTube page called Tangents. So Tangents is slightly more nuanced, but simpler than you'd expect. Sometimes when we really deep dive a subject on the podcast, it can get a little long-winded for people, and we want to kind of keep the podcast episodes a little more mixed up from a variety of standpoint per episode. Tangents give us the ability to really deep dive a particular subject. Any one of us or multiple of us as hosts, we can deep dive a subject for as long as we want. So tangents could be 5 minutes or 55 minutes. It doesn't matter. But our very first Tangents video, I was so excited to talk about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The series just ended on Disney Plus, the new mini series. Kory and Kendall bowed out of this particular episode of Tangents. But I was able to hop on and talk with a good buddy of mine, Brad, for about 50 minutes, just about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and maybe a little dash of WandaVision sprinkled in. So hopefully you guys will go check out those Midbits videos and the Tangents videos. You can expect to see a lot of those get added over time. I think Midbits, there's already 8 or 10 of them up on the YouTube channel. And then we uploaded our first Tangents video this past weekend because Falcon and Winter Soldier just ended. So more and more additional content on YouTube for folks that are into that kind of thing. And for anybody who's not, just keep tuning in for our regular episodes every Wednesday.
Well said.
Yeah,
and
brother.
you did a great job. Thank you for joining, Brad. You guys, it was a really fun conversation. I listened on Sunday afternoon while I was driving, and I really enjoyed it. So I felt like what people often say about the podcast, I felt like I wanted to chime in multiple times and weigh in on the conversation. But I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in my car listening to YouTube. I'm not with Dillon and Brad talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They won't hear me.
You wouldn't. However, people
You could
can
call
still
in,
chime-
Kory.
I could.
still chime in the same way. So if we do a midbit or if we do a tangent video, please comment on those on YouTube and subscribe and like the channel and all that jazz. But certainly if you want to send us a voicemail, and then we can always talk about it on the podcast as well if we're just catching up on other voicemails or happen to address that topic again on a regular episode. So Kory very kindly went in and threw a comment on the first Tangents video because he had some thoughts, which I love. So thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Indeed. So speaking of, Falcon and Winter Soldier certainly is within the realm of conversation on a regular basis on the regular podcast episodes. We just typically don't go nearly as deep. But so Dillon obviously has seen all of the episodes and talked about it at length. Kory, where are you?
Yeah, we finished.
Have you watched?
Yeah, we've been watching it on Friday nights as a family activity. So we are caught up.
You're caught up.
Finished.
And I've watched only the first 2 episodes, and I watched them both today. So I like where it's going so far. You've got
Sweet.
a nice young man who has a fantastic resume and has become a new Captain America. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, and I feel like people just aren't quite seeing things his way, but he obviously wants to just help. So I'm stoked, excited to see where he goes with it.
I'm excited to watch it unfold and hear your thoughts as things progress, because all he's trying to do is help. That's all that's happening.
That's all he wants to do, man.
Yep.
Maybe we can get a Midbits at the end. Kendall has a delayed reaction to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier in like 4 weeks, and then you can post a Midbit video for anybody who wants to know your reaction.
Yeah, like somewhere perhaps around the next 2 episodes, Kendall going, "What the heck? Hey, wait a hot second. He's got ulterior motives."
Wait, does he?
I don't know. Fun times. I did a whole bunch of nothing. My work has been a little heavy, a lot, unsustainable, and I was like, I just sensed that I needed a reprieve. So like almost all weekend I sat on a couch and watched things, and it was amazing. I got caught up with some things I had been wanting to watch. I got buried in the documentary Crime Scene: The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel, about an infamous hotel in LA where there's been countless deaths and murders. And this girl who was there visiting disappeared. She was on the security cameras in the elevator, and then they never saw her leaving the hotel, and she was nowhere to be found. So It's this 4-part documentaries. Do you guys like those, like,
oh yeah,
mystery serial killer? There's one on the Night Stalker, the guy, the murderer out in LA. Forgetting his name right now. Night Stalker in the 80s, whatever. There's a bunch of those on Netflix that are pretty fun.
Denise, I think.
Denise, yeah, definitely a Denise. Looks like a Denise. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Don't know. Anyway, there's one on. Anyway, so I watched that, and then I'm a big fan of the artists Ryan Otley and Kory Walker, who are the pencilers on the comic book series Invincible. And I've never read the comic books, but Amazon Prime has just dropped season 1 of that show. It's a handful of episodes, 6-8 episodes. So I got to watch the Prime Video version of a comic book artist that I love, and got to catch up with the story in that fashion. That is intense. I reached out to our community page, From the Middle for the Middlers, to see who else had been watching it. And everybody that's watching it is really enjoying it. It's what Sherry would call an adult cartoon. So I don't recommend it if you don't like the occasional F-bomb and some pretty gory scenes, but it is very good. And then I played video games, and there's a new map on Warzone, which is a big deal for all of us Warzone players. Nice. They nuked the original map and then went back in time to 1984. And so the things that you had grown familiar with from the existing map are under construction in the new map. And so that's been a ton of fun. But I needed just like a veg, chill, do nothing, catch up on shows and podcasts sort of a weekend. And that I had. And then had some great family time and activities with the kids, and more of Case's soccer games. And it was just it was good.
Good, man.
Relaxing.
That makes me happy.
Speaking of Warzone, quick shout out to a good buddy of mine, Tom. I think you play Warzone with Tom.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tom. I got a text today, and he said, "My first Warzone solo victory. I almost don't believe it." So we don't talk gaming a whole lot here, but Tom, congratulations. I don't know what that means, but I'm happy for you, buddy.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. If you're unfamiliar, up to 150 regular other human players get dropped into a giant map, and the goal is to be the last man standing. And so it's no easy task to get a solo victory. And he's a way higher level than I am. So sorry it took you so long, Tom. No, he's good. Does he mostly snipe still? He's kind of a sniper player.
He's long since on Call of Duty and Battlefield, and I love Tom. He's great. I actually am the one who bugged him for so long to get a PlayStation that he got the PS. He started with the PS3, and he's now retired. And so I think he would be a little embarrassed to maybe say how long he averages playing video games a day in his retirement. But I'll just say it's a healthy day of work day plus of gaming. But he loves it, man. And he has a PS4, and I think he's going to get a PS5 soon. And I don't play Warzone, but that's awesome. And more props to him. But yeah, he loves to snipe.
Apparently the thing with all the Warzone players is let's go. They all say let's go, like when they win, like let's go. So let's go, Tom. I had a match. Here's a little callback to the Midbits you referenced earlier, mi hermano. So there's a clip that I posted up there where I had 2 pretty decent kills back to back, and I ended up in second place. I conveniently cut out of that video how I died. So what happened was it was down to me and another player. And you have to understand these sessions could last like up to half an hour, because by the time 150 players are getting down to 1, you've spent anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, making that happen, that journey. So the circle's getting smaller, the gas is closing you in, forcing the existing players into a smaller area. So I was one of 2. It's me and the other guy, but I don't know where he is, but I know he's in this circle somewhere. Off in the distance between some trees, I see a glint of his scope on his sniper rifle. So I know he's sighting me in. I'm on a roof next to one of those spinny vent things. And I have a precision airstrike, which is some goggles that you pull up and click where you want the plane to drop bombs. And so I look up to his scope glint and I click the thing, but it caught the corner of the spinny vent thing that I was right next to. And I blew myself up.
Well, since Kory's dead, why don't we take a quick minute to hear from one of our friends, and we'll be right back with Kory's dead story.
Welcome everybody to the Body Skew Podcast. I am.
Whoa, dude. No. This is our promo, not the show. I'm Rico.
Oh, sorry. I'm CJ, and we're the hosts of the Body Skew Podcast.
We're fans of pretty much anything and everything pop culture, including movies, TV shows, books, video games, comics, music, and of course, Kevin Smith. Now, while we do keep our fingers on the pulse of Silent Bob, he certainly doesn't need our help in promoting him.
You got that right. We do our own thing, with inspiration from the man himself and his mantra of why not. We've got stories about celebrities we've interviewed, theories of our own for certain movies, and we can usually tend to have a great debate about anything.
We also do commentaries on movies. Sometimes we ask our fans what they want to watch with us. So if you love the timbre of our vocal cords and want to watch a movie at the same time, give us a listen.
Stay tuned every Monday. There's always something new. And if you've been good this year, we may even give you a bonus episode from time to time.
So please be good and subscribe to and enjoy Podescue, founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network.
So I'm like, did I just, and my heart's beating out of my chest. Because like I said, it's taken a long time to get to this point, and I only have 1 solo victory so far. Oh man, it's such a fun game, and it's free. Dillon, I'm telling you, you have to get it. We could play together.
I have this much, approximately, a smidge worth of time. to game, and I still constantly find myself playing NCAA football.
2014.
2014 Dynasty mode if I'm not on mobile. So, yeah, I'm sure there's other great games, but college football it is, gentlemen.
I've been playing Atari-ish kind of football. There's an app on my phone called Retro Bowl.
Nice.
And it's very Atari stylish. You play a season. Very simple. You can draft players and that kind of thing. Like you still have to worry about money and players' moods and that kind of thing, but it's way simpler. Like I'm not a huge fan of sports games that like turn into an RPG. I just don't care enough to do that. I don't have the patience for it. But anyway, I'm also not. Why am I talking about gaming? I'm not a gamer. We talk about gaming, and Kendall's like, "Oh, I've got this app on my phone. It's like an Atari football thing." So
No,
it's either play that one or I'm trying to bust bubbles.
I like the retro reference. In fact, I found myself with Case, my 6-year-old son. I was describing Lemmings to all 3 kids the other day and how fun the game Lemmings was in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was so much fun if you had Lemmings on a computer. And I'm telling them, like, Sherry and I are both telling them how fun it was. And like, yeah, you got these little guys and you got 100 of them and you got to try to get them into a given area. And some can dig and some blow themselves up and some stop the others from falling off the cliff. And so then he, like days later, he goes, Dad, can you find me that ants game you were telling me about? And I'm like, it's not ants, it's Lemmings. So we found like a mobile version that's just okay. But did you guys remember Lemmings from the 90s?
Of course.
So fun.
Yeah, it was an irreverent level of glee when you would make the little explosive ones do their thing. I'm glad that didn't yield anything as an adult mentally, but man, it was fun. It was fun to blow up.
So Kendall, other than Atari football games and popping bubbles, what's going on in your world, bro? How are the kids doing with their activities?
Oh, they're all good. So it's fun. The dance, they're getting ready for a recital, but she jumped on like just like a month or two ago. So she won't be a part of that team recital thing that they're doing. But it has still been fun, and she has a jump start on the next season, dance season. I didn't know that there was a dance season, but there's a dance season, and she'll have a jump start on that, and she'll have some of the fundamentals out of the way, and be able to do the big recital next year, and then we'll also enroll her in some stuff over the summer in the meantime. But they go essentially the school year. They follow the school year is what they do. And the boys are still loving karate and karate, as they say. And but no, so that's all good. We spent this past weekend doing a lot of spring cleaning around the house, inside and out, doing that sort of thing. Another dumpster project that we're getting into, with some outside work and also in the garage and stuff. But possibly most exciting and relevant to this show is we're a step closer to becoming foster feather parents.
Hey,
for a feather baby. Now here's the thing. So
don't just throw that in.
If you're adopting a child, I have some friends who have gone through adopting children, and there's this whole thing where you have someone come over to your house and like inspect your home and interview you and talk to you and those kinds of things, and they want to make really certain that like you're going to be good parents to this kid. I would not expect that kind of treatment for birds. But we did spend time. We had to, because of COVID, ain't nobody going anywhere into people's homes. So we had very detailed instructions on how we needed to shoot a video inside our home. And so we did that over the weekend. and shot 30-second clips. They had to see the house in its entirety. They had on video, they had to have us show them and explain any perches or toys or cages or whatever that the bird will be a part of. They had to have a video introduction to everybody who lives in the house with the potential bird.
Are you on the list to foster a recently discovered last dodo bird? What is going on?
I tell you, I am surprised. I am surprised. So, and that's, I mean, it's not like this place, like the place that we're getting it from, it's not like they don't have lots of birds. They do. And the particular bird that we're looking to foster, to adopt, is one that has been around for a little while, and they've had to post about it a couple times from their Facebook account and that kind of thing. And like, we're the ones over here being like, over here. And they're like, fine, we need to meet everybody in your home. We need to see all of this stuff. And then and only then can you come in and even meet the bird. And then after that, we'll make a decision.
Two questions, if I can follow up. First of all, is this like a federally funded program where they're like vetting money that's coming to you for this? Second, do you get to pick the country of origin for birds? Or is this like this is just the one they have like in Columbus?
This is one that this private outfit has in their facility, which is their house. They have lots of birds at their house. This is a place that Amy has volunteered at before.
Okay.
To help take care of all their birds. But yeah.
Are they trying to avoid like, and I know hoarding is a serious issue, but like, are they trying to avoid potential pet hoarders? Like this is
I don't know, man.
I realize I'm now laughing, but like, this is a very serious question I'm asking.
I don't know. I gather that it's just this group of people or this couple really, who just they really like birds, and they really want to make sure that birds are homed properly. Okay. And so it's one of those things. It's I hesitate to say animal rights thing, but it is that they're trying to be careful because of the amount of because of the priority that they place on these birds in their lives.
I mean, because I get like, if anyone has watched the show of Hoarders, there's like that person who's like, I love my cats, and there's like 10 deceased under a pile of magazines, right? So like I can understand wanting to be wary of people who claim to love something but maybe don't have the means or the right cage or the right whatever. So that's fine. That's fascinating because this is like a thing we didn't even know about till 2 weeks ago on whatever episode that we covered fostering birds. So it's fascinating.
Yeah. Oh, so we'll see. I hope we get picked.
Did you say, Dillon, featherly funded? Were you trying to throw a pun in there?
No.
And I noticed that you said feather baby. I will not let that slide. This treachery cannot stand. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what I was going to ask. I'm kind of dumbfounded. So, that's what it was. So like now that they've reviewed your home and have seen the videos, you're just waiting to hear if you qualify to receive a bird?
Yeah. So I guess now we're just waiting. And then if they like the videos, and the next step is to go to the facility and meet the bird.
It's a specific bird. You don't like get a choice once you're there?
No, it's a specific bird that we're after. Gotcha. Like we told them this bird's a severe macaw is what it's called.
Got it.
Is the one that we're after.
Do you think they're really just vetting you as a couple in case the birds want to hang out so they'll know what kind of parents you are? Do you think that's...
Say that again?
Do you think like, sometimes you want to know if your kids, friends, parents are cool? Do you think like they're vetting you as like the potential, like, well, if the birds want to hang out together, we want to know that these people could be cool to hang out with. Oh my gosh, turns out he's got a home theater in his basement. That could be great for him.
Maybe.
Well, Stacy, I wasn't sure, and then I saw the Marvel air hockey table, and I was thinking they'd be a good mom and dad for
Are they expecting visitation once
Roland. I don't know.
Once
That's the name that felt right.
Yeah.
Roland.
So, but at first they were looking for foster parents for this bird, and then on the second one they took the fostering out of it, and so they're just looking for someone to straight adopt it. And our response to them was basically, well, I mean, we'll foster first. You know, we have young kids, and we don't want to adopt a bitey bird. So
fair.
So they said the plan, I think, would be potentially to foster for like 2 months and then make a decision.
Well, keep us posted.
I will.
That is fascinating. I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Nor did I.
No clue.
So I've been telling you guys about this neighborhood that's going in behind us.
Yeah.
And I've not been excited about it.
Word.
Well, when they came in to level the ground for the new neighborhood, it's like, I don't know, 6 to 10 feet higher than our yard. So the elevation is going to start 6 to 8 feet higher than our yard for these single story homes. Now, they kept selling the idea and the concept to us in the neighborhood that this is going to back up against. Hey, don't worry. These are just single story patio homes, mostly be inhabited by snowbirds, people that are going south for the winter. No worries. They look like at least 2-story homes because they're vaulted ceilings. But I'm pretty sure that the one that they just put in is 2-story. And so now I'm going to have the backs of these houses right in my backyard, where before I had open field and sky.
Yeah.
Which you knew was an eventuality, or, was a possibility. Yeah. So then we get a knock on the door today from the power/utility company. And he's like, hey, you're going to have no power tomorrow from 10 to 2. And I've got meetings with executives that I'm supposed to facilitate for this customer. So I'm like, because they got to tie in power to I'm not thrilled, you guys, like to the degree that we're like, do we want to stay here and make this place, like, finish the basement, do all the things we want to do, build a deck around the pool? Or do we just want to, do we want to start looking? Because I just really don't want to stare in the back of somebody's house. I know, first world problems, but
the only advantage I can think of is if you happen to befriend the people that live behind you with that extra level of height, you can get some of those army guys with the parachutes and then go to their house and then throw them down in their backyard. And with that kind of height, it would work pretty well. That could be a real advantage to that relationship, is at least one thing I can think of.
Sledding in the winter, potentially.
You know how comfortable it's going to be trying to relax in your pool while a 72-year-old person stares through their sliding glass window?
Yes, and you'll never be able to play music while they're around, like on your backyard, because it's going to be too loud for them at any given time of the day. I don't know.
Dillon and I grew up in a single-story house, finished basement later, in the middle of an 8-acre oak tree forest. And so we watched movies at the volume we wanted. We were loud. We had 3-wheelers. We had campfires and camped in the backyard with I'm just not used to this suburb thing. And we've been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah.
You find a wooded lot big enough and we'll cut it right down the middle commercially, and then we'll take the other half. Yeah,
put a pond in the middle and put our houses on the corners.
Yeah,
I would totally do that if it didn't sound culty. I would start like a division with friends or family members of like, okay, guys, we'll buy these 4 connecting plots. We'll put our houses on the outermost corners, put a big pond or lake in the middle. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I'm game.
We'll all wear
Yeah.
the same clothes, drink
Yeah.
Kool-Aid. It'll be great.
Well,
We're gonna put a big shrine in the middle of the pond for us to worship, and it's gonna be
okay. I mean, I'm game as long as the internet's good. Are we gonna get like fiber or? That's my only question.
But yeah, this whole thing seriously has us to the point of like, all right, what's next? And Lily's kind of at the age 14 where you don't want to move her right at the end of her high school, career. It's kind of like if we don't do it now, I don't know. Anyway, fun times.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I'll take pictures
Yeah, I
once
don't
the
know.
houses are going up and show you how annoying it is. But we're
Please
close to
do.
opening the pool for the year, so I'll let you know how that goes. Y'all know if you've listened to this podcast that it was a nightmare closing it, but it's time to open her up.
I'm looking forward to pictures of the green sludge that is like laying in.
How green
It's
was
gonna be-
that? Right when I closed it. Oh, it looked like
It's
Jell-O.
crazy, man.
Chicago River on
Yep.
St. Patty's Day green.
Yeah.
You know what? The chemicals that I put in for the winter, it's crystal clear.
Yeah. Turns
So-
out if you pour gallons of bleach in water, you will eventually clean it up. It's amazing.
Yeah.
If you swim in it, you'll disintegrate, but it's clean. That's what's important.
Right on.
Wrap it up.
Huh?
That feels like a great place to wrap this one up. This has been episode of 99 of From the Middle. If you're listening this far, we're going to make you hear it again. Go to rdsman.com, use promo code The Middle, save 25% off your first order. That's crazy. 25% off your first order, and you're going to get some great freaking stuff from RDS Man, including you can go get some of these hats, which are pretty sweet. And that's all we've got. Check us out on all our social media platforms, but especially head over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe and the little dingy bell. That way you know anytime there's new videos, and keep an eye out for Midbits, which are going to be super short and sweet for all you short attention span millennials, and then Tangents for anyone who has literally nothing better to do. That's episode 99 of From the Middle. Peace.
Bye.